यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि पश्यति तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि स च मे न प्रणश्यति.
Chapter 6, Shloka 3030. He who sees the divine in everybody and everything, and who sees all in the divine, for that person, for that seeker, the divine never gets lost. And the seeker never gets lost to the divine. He who sees me, says Krishna in all, and who sees all in me, to him I do not get lost, and he does not get lost to me. Such a significant and an important, all-encompassing shloka, really the summary of the spiritual essence. Like towards the end of Sri Aurobindo's magnum opus Savitri, Savitri says, awakened to the meaning of my heart, that to feel love and oneness is to live. And this, the secret of the golden change, is all the truth I know or seek, O sage. Love and oneness. To see the divine in all, and all in the divine. All our miseries, pains, sufferings, desires come out of a limited sense of seeing and perception. Let us say this person hurt me. Now, who is this person? I am only experiencing and witnessing the outer surface personality of this human being and getting ruptured and hurt by the actions of the outermost personality of this being. But actually, behind this outermost personality, there is an inner child. A sweet child who's perhaps been hurt oneself. Hurt people, hurt people. So I'm not really seeing that child, I'm seeing like this nasty adult. And so I'm living in the suffering. But actually what looks like the nasty adult behind it is a little child. And even behind that is Krishna, is the divine, is the infinite qualities of the divine that are trying to manifest and break through out of the molds of matter and manifest as the soul's radiant light into this world. Even as he himself may not be aware of it, but it exists. So, veiled as it may be, the divine exists in each heart, human, non-human alike. And the next part of the shloka is, not only does the divine reside in each one is residing in the divine. So many times there is a massive hand of the divine will at work in which human beings are nothing but instruments. It's like how World War became an instrument for the coming together of nations, even as it happened in a tardy way in the form of United Nations. But still that hand of nature was behind the circumstance, people and events for a greater unification on the planet Earth, a greater unification that represents the inherent oneness of all humanity. So on one hand, in each heart, even as the human being himself or herself may be quite unconscious, there's something very sweet. There's something very beautiful. Yes, it is quite possible that somebody is, very unevolved, full of jealousy, full of anger and ill will. All kinds of things may be there. But the very fact that that being exists means somewhere behind the veil, there is truth, there is goodness, there is beauty, there's something which is made of the divine, which exists in this person, even as this person may himself be unaware of it. It's important to look for that light and allow that light to shape one's sensing and seeing of the world, not in a manner of wearing rose-colored glasses that can only see the good in the others and just cannot see the ignorance and the falsehood and the darkness. Not like that. But the ability to be able to see, this action came out of jealousy. But behind that jealousy was a sweet little child who was always compared by her adults. And all that sweet little child was trying to do was to be celebrated for one's divinity. It may have gotten really degenerated in the way that sweetness is manifesting today. But behind all the outer layers, there is undeniably a divine essence in each and every being. And that is the very foundation of life, love and oneness. We all exist in the divine. Not only the divine is somewhere hidden in our hearts, but we are also, all that we do, we are always held by the divine. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are, and to feel held by the divine. These two perceptions of the divine seated in the heart and you seated in the heart of the divine are fundamental, instrumental to forever being in touch, in an intimate, conscious touch with the presence of Krishna. Otherwise, very easily going through life, something or the other comes up and we lose touch. A little betrayal happens, we lose trust on human beings and we lose touch. We are unable to trust that divinity any longer. We focus on the shadow, we focus on the negative, we focus on survival, we focus on what can harm us and try to ensure that we are safe. As we go through life, we get several beatings from life, and that slowly begins to take away our hope, our youthfulness, our innocence, the sparkle in our eyes. Because we don't grow through life, we become bitter, not better. We take that load of life to our hearts, and we become older and older, and we stop trusting like we used to, the goodness and the generosity. And to really mature is to start being that goodness, of being that generosity that you always trusted that the world has. And to be that for the joy of being that. And to be that in service of the soul, not service of the ego. If you're going to go out of your way to do things to please other people's egos, you will be run out of fuel one day or the other. But if you do things in service for the inner divinity, inner presence, and you do it just out of love of giving, it grows in you like a sacred flower. And that is how you grow. That now you see all kinds of things. You see jealousy, you see selfishness, you see aggression, you see cowardice, you see laziness, you see people pleasing, you see all of it in others and in yourself. But you also see why. Why is it happening? You see the inner child behind the outer degenerated adult action. And behind that inner child, you see the pristine, radiant light of the soul. And you tune into that. And you radiate that. You find that in yourself and you find that all around you. He who finds the divine in each heart, he who finds that all exist in the divine, to him, Krishna is never lost, and he is never lost to Krishna. With that, we come to a closure of the 21 shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. I hope you enjoyed the series. And if you're not yet a part of the Purnam community, here's an invitation for you to come and join the Purnam community, which is a community of spiritual seekers in action across India and the world, really looking to live Karma Yoga, to discover who one truly is in one's deepest essence, and to lead one's life governed by the soul. All that we talked about in the Bhagavad Gita series, we try to take baby steps to practice it as a part of the Purnam community. If you're not yet a part of the Purnam community, I welcome you to join. Click on the link below and welcome on board. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing what you learned through this video in the comments below.